Examples for lesson 2. Number 1, a painter ordered 5 gallons of acrylic vinyl paint for $35 a gallon. So that's 5 for $35. And 3 gallons of acrylic eggshell enamel for $38 a gallon. So that's 3 for $38. Write out a mathematical statement giving the total cost of the paint and calculate the cost. So in this case, we're going to have to do 5 times 35 because each of the 5 will cost us $35. And added to that is going to be 3 times 38. Now, of course, you could do this manually or use your calculator. 5 times 35 is 175 plus 3 times 38 is 114. You do the multiplication before the addition, and then 175 plus 114 will give us 289. So 5 times 35 plus 3 times 38 is $289. Example number 2. An electrician purchased 12 dimmer switches at $20 each. So 12 at 20, that's going to be our first operation, but then received an $8 credit for each of the 3 returned. So a credit is going to be a minus. Write out a mathematical statement that gives the amount of money she spent, then calculate the total. So the first thing she did is she bought 12 at 20 each, and from that she took back 3 at 8 each. And because she took it back, it has to be a minus. So that's 12 times 20, 240, minus 3 times 8, which is 24. 240 minus 24 is $216. So 12 times 20 minus 3 times 8 is $216. Number 3. Each 5-foot length of wood molding costs $28. So you get 5 feet for $28. How much would it cost to purchase 130 feet? Well, our problem here is we don't know the cost per foot. So we're going to do cost per foot. And our cost is 28 for 5 feet. And we're going to need to divide that, and that's going to give us the cost per foot. So 28 divided by 5 is 5.6, or $5.60 for each foot. Then, now we know we've got 130 feet, so 130 times 5.60, and you can leave the 0 out, that comes up to be $728. So it will cost $728 to purchase 130 feet of molding. Number 4. An investment company started in business with $1 million of capital, that just means cash, on January 1, and because of mismanagement, lost an average of $8.53 for every day for a year. And of course, a year is 365 days. What would be its financial situation on the last day of the year? So we know we started with $1 million, and from that we have to minus $8.53 for every 365 days. So we have to multiply that. So it's going to be 1 million minus the business losses, $853 times 365, which is $311,345. So at the end of the year, they take that million, they subtract away the 311,345 to find out that they have a situation where they have $688,655 left at the end of the year. $688,655. And number 5. A masonry contractor is preparing an estimate for building a stone wall and gate. He estimates that the job will take a 40-hour work week. He plans to have 3 laborers at $10 per hour and 4 masons at $23 per hour. He'll need $3,236 worth of materials and wishes to make a profit, and that means above all, an extra $400. So write a mathematical statement. We'll give you the estimated cost of the job, then calculate the total. So there are a lot of things going on here, so let's talk about this. 40 hours per worker. Okay, because he says it's going to take a full 40 hours to complete the job. He's got 3 laborers, and he's got 4 masons. The 3 laborers make $10 for every 40 hours they work, and the 4 masons make $23 for the 40 hours they're going to work. So we're going to have to do 3 times 10 times 40 to get the total for the laborers, and 4 times 23 times 40 to get the total for the masons. Now we've got other things we have to consider. He's also going to have costs, in addition to that, of $32.36 for materials, and he wants to make a profit of $400. So how much is it going to cost overall? Well, we've got the 3 times 10 times 40, and then we're going to have to add the masons, the 4 times 23 times 40, plus the 32.36 for materials, plus the $400 for profit. So 3 times 10 times 40, 4 times 23 times 40, the 32.36, and the 400 in profit. So all of these are going to be the total that the contractor has to collect. He needs to collect the 3 times 10 times 40, or the $1,200, in order to pay his laborers. He has to collect 4 times 23 times 40 in order to pay the masons. That's $36.80. He needs to collect $32.36 to pay for the materials, and then he wants $400 in his pocket to go home. Now he'll end up spending all these first 3, but he's got to include all those in the estimate for the job. So $1,200 plus $36.80 plus $32.36 plus $400 is $8,516. He needs to collect $8,516 for his total.